Hello, everyone, and once again, a very warm welcome to ChaiNet, the agentic commerce podcast exploring how brands are building in an AI world. I'm Rachit Magan, your host, and today we're talking about something every D2C founder needs to hear. Someone is in your Shopify store right now. They perhaps clicked your ad, maybe on Google or Meta. They landed on your page and then they left. No purchase, no email, nothing. You might be able to get some of the details from some integrations, or you might not, right? But what do you term it as? Just probably bounce rate. You will go ahead and buy more traffic and then say that, okay, I have this X amount of bounce rate and be normal with it, right? My today's guest thinks that that's one of the most expensive mistakes to do in D2C. Sidharth Sahni is the co-founder and CTO of Helium. It's a platform that watches what happens inside every session of a Shopify store and uses AI to adapt the storefront in real time for each visitor. They also give autonomous growth along with personalization, while personalization being the middle of the stack essentially. Helium gets you the right customers by showing them the right products to showing them the most relevant things, finally making sure that they're getting you the customers which have the correct intent. But let's get down to it. He's also won some of India's biggest hackathons, and he co-founded Helium in 2023 alongside his co-founder Shrey. They're backed by Mirak Ventures and also named in the Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia 2025 list. So let's get Sidharth on the stage and let's figure out what can you do to stop your store from bleeding money. Hi
Yeah,
Sidharth,
hi
welcome
Rachit.
to the podcast.
Yes, thanks. Glad to be here.
It's my pleasure. I'm always, being a techie myself, I'm always excited to speak to someone technical. Although I try to keep this podcast as non technical as possible. But yeah, the excitement I have
Yeah,
when speaking to someone in the trenches building products is very different. So, yeah,
yeah,
welcome, Siddharth. If you could give a small introduction
yeah.
about yourself before we
Cool.
start.
Hi everyone. I'm Sidharth. I am right now the co-founder and CTO of Helium. Rachit mentioned, I've been building random stuff since as soon as my school finished, I started doing random stuff with code here and there. Made website, made weird animations, made like a galaxy generator in 3JS, like weird all over projects that more like 80% of those I cannot even show anyone. Right? It was just really fun. And I still do love, like, if my friend's birthday is coming over something, I really love to, like, right now vibe coding is a bit, so I
Of
vibe
course.
coding a few games, like personalized games for them. So I've made like quite a few of those as well in my free time
Right.
as gifts for close friends. And yeah, like I've loved building, taken part in like 20, 30, 50 hackathon over my course of my college, won a lot of them, even in national, international ones. And crazy, then got the opportunity, got to know Shrey, where I worked before Helium. We both sort of got stuck on the idea saying, yeah, like we were working with an app enabler that builds apps for D2C brands. And
Right.
we were like, yeah, app is fine. That's a retention channel. Website has so much opportunity. Website is so static, so bland right now. And things were getting really starting to grow in the AI space. And we were like, hey,
Right.
let's jump the gun, do a bit of stuff like for D2C web instead of mobile. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's where uh, Helium also came around
Amazing.
almost 3 years ago now.
Wow. Superb. And when you said that, that, okay, you saw that, okay, this is an opportunity. What came in front of you then when you realized that, okay,
Yeah.
there is a problem over here?
Yeah. At that point, there was one core issue that Shopify even realized, that liquid on which
Hmm.
Shopify's whole ecosystem is sort of
Correct.
shit, if I don't have any better words.
Hmm.
And they also launched like, hey, if you want way better storefronts or something, just go with Hydrogen. And Hydrogen is their framework on top of React to sort of build headless storefronts.
Right.
And that's where sort of the name Helium came from initially. They're like, hey,
Nice.
they're only solving
Hydrogen and
for,
helium.
so it's like one-upping them, right?
Right.
So we were like, hey, we'll obviously build smarter, more automated storefronts. And we started
Right.
building like a like a web builder on top of sort of the modern stack, and quickly realized ki, hey, like, and we started with three notions. One is obviously that liquid is bad, it's slow, it's very hard to change stuff around.
Right.
And second is ki, why are pages static yet? Hey, people coming from this ad should see something from this ad. People coming from X
Correct.
location should see something that they can relate to. Is are the two core things that we started with, and that is where we built for quite a few brands in our early days, like Go Noise and a few big ones that we got quite early in our journey.
Right.
And we built a lot of stores. If you go to their website, most likely Noise, most of the like highly animated and every sort of landing page is built by us. And
Amazing.
that was sort of the start of it. And we personalization, we sort of jumped a rabbit hole, went deeper and deeper and deeper, and like faced a lot of problems there. And yeah, well, that's how
Right.
Helium has been building it still.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So how difficult? So as a concept, it sounds amazing, right? Like personalization. If you're coming from an ad, then show
Yeah.
something relevant to the ad. Um,
Yeah.
is it even possible with the
It's
current Shopify ecosystem? Like, do
It
they
is
even allow?
possible. We have grown accustomed to it. Matlab, we have sort of ported because that was a problem that we faced. People don't want to
Correct.
have two websites to manage now. So we sort
Exactly.
of built a whole system to do this on their website. But it
Hmm.
is a heavily, heavily abused word. People have been saying, hey, personalize this, personalize that for like tens of years. But what it is, hey, 50% people see this text and 50% see this text, and that like, what do I do of this? Like, that is very basic level. Like they do almost nothing, and obviously nothing is very
Hmm.
e-commerce first, because content is not the mode of an e-commerce store, the product is. And how do we do this with product and not at like a 50-50 at a Delhi good phone, new phone, coming in the afternoon, sort of like a depth.
Right.
And that's where that was essentially the start of the rabbit hole that we jumped. Yeah.
Interesting. And now you've built something, and you've actually built it without the IIT tag, which in the middle kind of became, like a lot of people still think that it's without the tag, it's very impossible to get into the boardrooms and get into the correct right, open the right door.
Yeah.
Has that experience, like, how has that experience been? Like, do you think that?
I think it's Yeah, I think it's a bit tougher. I won't say कि it's not there. I think that's like simple human psychology. He has
Hmm.
cracked something tough. He might, and startup is like one of the toughest thing that you'll do, and he might be able to crack this as well, right? So that's like a simple psychological play. People are like, hey, he's an INT, and like a more safer bet if
Correct.
nothing else. If I were in the shoes, that would be the case. Like I would sort of do like a filtering myself. But it is harder to obviously get in there. But as soon as you have conversations, I think that the importance of that tag totally disappears in conversations.
Hmm.
It's good
Right.
to get conversations, but as soon as like, hey, what you're building is bad and like the business doesn't make sense, then it wouldn't matter if you're from an IIT or
Correct.
your any other college, right?
Absolutely. 100%. Um, Makes sense. And yeah, like, yeah, it just maybe takes you a bit longer, but yeah, but eventually, if your
Yeah.
product is right, if the problem you're solving is correct, then it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it's a bit tougher
Eventually.
to get
Hmm.
conversations, but if you
Right.
are now starting to get conversations after hitting like hundreds of VCs, I think if the problem is good, it would stick with many
Right.
of them.
Correct. Correct. So let's talk about a Shopify store, right? Let's say there is a brand which has one of these stores, and they're running a meta ad. What happens when someone clicks on the store and lands on Shopify? What happens
Like
today, and like without any
without
optimization,
us,
and
without
without Helium, or
yeah.
without you guys helping them, and what should actually happen?
Yeah, I'll even give you an example, not even at a Shopify store level. This happens
Right.
at an Ajio Myntra level as well,
Hmm.
where if you are getting ad of like it starts like anything would start at the meta level itself. Like what are you even
Correct.
showing to the customers, right? So catalog ads, most big catalog brands run catalog ads. These are 50 products that we have a carousel. And
Right.
as soon as somebody clicks, like for most small brands, even big brands, even if you do it, like you would have faced it a lot on Myntra and everybody, where the
Right.
product is out of stock, one variant is in stock, or completely out of stock, or like almost
Correct.
like only one of the variants. If I'm looking at apparel, like which is like the biggest category, many a times only one or two, like just XS is available, just large is available, five of the
Right.
variants is wrong. So just simple, nobody would convert it because like, hey, my size is not available in the product that you showed. I was interested in the product,
Right.
but like there's nothing there. So before even coming to the website, it starts on ki, hey, is my catalog correct? Are my product
Hmm.
even the products I'm showing? Do they even have the relevant variants in stock that
Correct.
actually sell more? So it starts there, but as soon as you click an ad, you land, hey, I like it 60-70%, but mostly people would be like, it's especially in apparel, which is the major category,
Hmm.
people would tend to scroll down and see
Other
recommendations,
things,
different
yes.
types of
Correct.
recommendations,
Right.
where we built a whole sort of a tagging system which attributes 70, 80 on 70, 80 different parameters, every sort of subcategory
Right.
product, and we essentially built recommendations on top of it. We obviously give this tagging system itself to many enterprises as well, but that is essentially what sits at the core of at least
Hmm.
the recommendation part. We also do ki, hey, if it's a more content rich category like Go Noise or some other Leaf or some other big brand, they
Right.
would have a lot of A plus content. But hey, my ad was talking about health tracking, but that's like five folds down for me in
Hmm.
my website. So for this particular audience that is interested in that, why not bring those folds up, change it around without having human in between essentially. This is essentially
Right.
auto decided based on ki, hey, this is was the ads context, and hey, this particular block should come up, should go down in your Shopify store itself.
Hmm.
And without Helium right
Interesting.
now, it's you there. Look, I'll probably put it in two places. This was you land on a product page,
Hmm.
and the second is you land on a
Correct.
collection page. It's static, globally best-selling products, or most
Right.
likely a manually ordered list saying, ki, hey, you landed here, find what you're looking for. And so these
Right.
are the two places, like without Helium, obviously the PDP would be static. How you've kept it, nothing changes. Most likely recently viewed or normal recommendation that Shopify itself natively has. On collection, simple basic sort, like normal or manual ordering that you've kept for yourself. Both of these are the standard. On
Right.
PDP, what I said, obviously, hey, recommendations or content based on what type of product category we are in. And on collection pages is more like dynamic, I would say, in it, especially for large catalog brands. So for a large catalog brand, let's say I have a collection of my kurtas or something. I have like 2,000 kurtas, and what do I even show here is like such a big problem, and to whom? So what we do is within like half a second of you coming, we essentially fingerprint your device. We don't do DPA, but we fingerprint your device. We say, hey, it's coming from a newer iPhone, which is like a good tier device. Some coming from let's say Mumbai or Delhi, and he's coming at afternoon, coming at this and coming on this particular collection, and we essentially reorder based on hey, what's preferences of people like this in a cohort is, and
Oh,
as you
wow.
scroll
So
down,
you
this
already know
essentially
that, okay,
dynamically
you
changes
have
as
that
well.
cohort analysis that, okay, this cohort of people would like this kind of thing, like coming
Yeah, so
from a
we
certain
do it
location and
at a
certain device.
Yep. So we do it at a city level for the top 10 cities. Then we split it into essentially city tiers, saying, ki, hey, this is a tier one, tier two,
Hmm.
tier three city.
Correct.
Do it on a device tier level, saying, ki, hey, this is a iOS, but an older iPhone 11, a tier three device,
Hmm.
not tier five,
Right.
and splitting it across and doing it for each individual collection at a sort of a
Hmm.
regular cadence, and auto filtering all the stuff that I said about the cut size catalog is not maintained. That is really true for your collection page as well.
Right.
And essentially we reorder everything based on, hey, this would be the preference. And as you scroll, we calculate intent towards different things. Hey, on the collection page, he spent more time looking at black colors or solid patterns or XYZ particular things. We sort of try and incorporate that as you scroll further and try to niche it down for you as you scroll in the collection, so that you start getting more and more precise based on what intent, what intent did you show towards what.
Got it. And don't like even now, uh, there are people still try to like even without any of this tech, brand owners and employees, they still try to optimize something, right? Like what are those
Yeah.
optimizations? Do you think like general optimizations work?
I think general optimizations totally work. I think if a brand is selling on their own website, they might be selling on Myntra or Amazon. They have a
Right.
certain sense ki, hey, these are tending to sell more for me, and they do a manual sort. Most medium scale brand don't have enough traffic saying, hey, my catalog is 2-3 thousand products,
Right.
but my orders are like 70-50 a day. So it's not very evenly splitted, and that can really, really cause a bias if you do like a non-manual sort, saying, hey, I did a best-selling sort. So obviously, out of 2,000, the 70 that were selling would start to come up. And if
Right.
your system is not very lenient or strict, it would start pushing those, and those would tend to sell more. And then you would have a lot of products that don't sell at all, or some products that sell a lot.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a
Yeah,
loop
that's
that normal systems work, but they do work till a scale. I won't deny that they don't work at all. Simple
right.
best-selling sort or manual orders that brand do have context of, uh, totally works until a certain scale. But to sort of optimize it further, it starts breaking after a bit.
Correct. I so
Yeah.
so for a smaller brand like which for example in our case, let's say a couple thousand, sub 2000 SKUs. Um, what do you think are the 2 to 3 most important things they can do today to stop leaks from their Shopify store?
I think the primary would be if they have 1,000 SKUs. 1,000 is still a good scale. Most brands sit at like 100, 200.
Right.
The first thing that they should do is probably invest in like setting up a good catalog, Facebook catalog, and obviously optimizing your PDP. PDP is the core real estate that your website would have. I think that is one place that almost any scale brand should optimize for.
Right. Correct. And uh, do you think in general conversion like from someone landing to your page to actually buying, um, a lot of the times it's thought that it's a traffic problem, that we don't have enough traffic, and like this is like this percentage of conversion is fine, but if we get more traffic then we just increase the numbers. So it's for someone who's stuck in that we want more and more traffic. What is
Yeah.
your advice? Do you think that's the right way to go?
I think
Invest more
uh,
in Meta?
I think not. Depending on, I think traffic is obviously one of the core things that you'll do, but that shouldn't be the like that is not the primary cause of most your conversion problems. Obviously, traffic would solve for it, even if you have like a 0.1 conversion. If you bring tens and 20,000 SKU, you will get a lot of orders, right? 20,000 people coming on my website at a
Right.
1% would give me like 200 orders, right? Uh, but it's still really, really, it won't scale because your ROAS would be really shit, 1.5 to 2.5, like depending on category. And that is probably the wrong diagnostic. First thing that you should obviously look for if the conversion is that bad, because most websites are set up decently okay, is if you are even bringing the right people or not, right? So that is one
Right.
place that you should obviously start on. Think, yeah, these are maybe you seed audiences from earlier cohorts or something else that have worked if you are at that scale. But I think you should start there at saying, hey, is my traffic source the problem, not the quantity? Like, what type of audience am I even building? But after that, it totally boils down to, hey, is the website even Like, are there even trust markers? What do I have to like even believe that this would reach me? Would this come before like people do? Hey, would it come within these many days? Would like trust markers ki hey, we do razor pay, we have XYZ promise, itne din return and everything in between. So people do a lot of things for trust markers,
Right.
but obviously those are important on website, basic CRO checklists to follow. But it does start at traffic, but not the quantity, really the quality. And it's really hard. The platforms have made it really, really tough to crack traffic because you won't get
Correct.
user level data. Like Google has stopped giving, Facebook doesn't give user level data. So, and obviously DPA and everything is coming. So you cannot obviously point it to directly to your name. That's
Right.
where we obviously have a custom pixel that we do to track a device rather than a user, and we
User.
essentially do what you call it, calculate intent on the fly on the website, saying ki, hey,
Right.
these type of audiences tend to have intent more towards these type of products or this particular product
Right.
set, and this can be used as a seed audience, or a
Hmm.
older cat ad that worked well can be used as a seed audience to sort of get better traffic if the
Right.
traffic quality is right now the problem.
And a lot of people mostly just talk about ROAS and optimizing ROAS, right? Like no one really talks about anything after that. That wherever
Yeah.
I've gone, whomever I've spoken to, right, it's just ROAS everywhere. Do you think that's the
Yeah.
right strategy? Like, if not, then what else?
I think there are a lot of breakdowns that can impact ROAS. ROAS is obviously like a high level metric. This has my quality of traffic inside it, has my website conversion rate and optimization inside it, has everything in between. Ki how good my catalog is, what is my retargeting strategy, everything in between is essentially a part of my overall ROAS का एक number. So it's obviously a good number to see at a regular basis, but obviously that is not a number that you can like throw a dart and say, ki, hey, I will increase my ROAS right now with this. That's not a number that you can optimize for. That is sort of an outcome, more or less. Uh, okay, traffic quality increasing, showing the right products. This could boost it, but these are all sub parts of it. And optimizing each bit would essentially increase the main number and not essentially the number is the thing that you should track.
Hmm.
It's a
Right.
overall metric saying,
It
yeah,
yeah.
okay, I got 20,000 session. Yay, great. But like, what of it? Who was who? How many converted what? Right.
Hmm. Correct. 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 You need like a 360-degree picture.
Yeah, yeah. And
Hmm.
it's not easy at all. Most Shopify brands don't even have their GA set up properly. Their Facebook 6 pixels are not getting half the signals.
Correct.
So most brands are not really saying, "Ki, okay, I don't even have data. I don't even know
Hmm.
if a half of those numbers are accurate. So I won't focus on improving the quality of these numbers or making them accurate. I would say, okay,
Hmm.
let's just ignore these two numbers are correct. I'll optimize for this, which is like yeah,
Because it's easy, like because I think Meta gives
yeah,
you the ROAS number directly. Everyone's now focusing on that number,
yeah.
and I
It's
think it's
easily
just
available and it's
correct.
correct. It's
Hmm.
most likely correct. So this is one number that I can believe in is correct.
Right.
So
Right.
let's
Right.
just follow that
Let's just
and
optimize
not
for that.
optimize for anything else. That
Hmm.
like people just tend to ignore what they don't know, right? Okay, okay,
Yes.
I don't know if
Correct.
my homepage even works. People,
Hmm.
how many people coming to my homepage actually even convert? Is my conversion rate okay for this page?
Hmm.
Where does my organic traffic land? Most
Correct.
brands won't even know this, so
Right.
they would never optimize for this,
True,
right?
true, true. Yeah, because it's not that you get it directly on Shopify, right? Like, not that you can get like
Exactly.
a
You won't
dashboard
even
for
get it
it.
directly on GA is
Hmm.
the
Right.
whole bit. And GA doesn't
Hmm.
let you say ki, okay, that this guy came in like the fourth visit where it converted. What is my conversion
Hmm.
rate based on visit count? Saying ki,
Yes.
okay, I
Yes.
have to bring a person at least 4 times, 3 times to even
Hmm.
reach the optimal
Reach the
conversion rate for
optimum.
this particular cohort.
Hmm. Right.
So
Right.
most people won't even reach to this point. They're like ROAS. Okay, my top of the funnel ROAS is this. My bottom of the funnel
Hmm.
ROAS is this. My middle of the
This
funnel ROAS is this.
correct.
And this is
That's
what
it.
I play with. And that's it.
Hmm.
These are three numbers
Right.
that I know.
But do you guys track stuff like that? Like, okay, third, like this
Yeah.
the third visit user.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%. Well, we our custom pixel. So what we have built in-house is
mhm.
so because we were doing personalization and we were going down and down, and it turned out to be obviously a data problem that it should have been. That we
Right.
took a while to realize, कि, hey, we need to
Hmm.
track a shit more than what we do right
Correct.
now to
Right.
even do even more personalization. So this, that's why I called it a rabbit hole in the start.
Right.
And this was the rabbit hole that we went in, and we now have built a whole sort of an RCA engine where, hey, this is a whole flowchart sort of a thing. You have ROAS, all the
Hmm.
metrics that contribute to ROAS, and as soon as I click, let's say conversion rate, hey, this is my pages.
Hmm.
Page has this conversion rate. This has this, like a whole RCA tree. I click on ROAS,
Hmm.
product, and it shows me if it's going down or up and every trend in between. So I click on product and I say, hey, it splits into iOS, Android, and traffic sources. And I say Facebook, it splits into something else. And it's a whole tree that I can pass through. So we have a whole graph of sort of this RC engine, which obviously is very, very hard to consume for a person because it's so deep, so big. So we have an agentic layer on top of it that parses the tree, tries to build something we call anomalies in-house. Ki, hey, my X sources audience with this particular device or this particular region has gone down. The conversion rate is down. How should we optimize this? Where are they landing and
Correct.
everything?
And then where are they
So that
dropping and what did they see? And
exactly.
like, wow, yeah,
Yeah, so this is an
that
RC
is
engine, and we
hmm.
are starting to send these reports daily. Ki, hey, my Meta 20 ads running on Meta, these three saw a drop in conversion rate because this happened. So like there are so many analytics engine, they don't have the capability of saying, ki, yeah, why this happened and what should I even do?
Hmm.
Like, should I
Hmm.
close this ad? What should I do? Like, where's the action layer on
Right.
top of it, right? And because we are automating most of these things with AI and autonomous stuff on top of it, we obviously need actions to act on and not just data.
It has happened to me a lot
Yeah,
of times, more than I would like to
yeah, yeah.
accept. But yeah, but in your case, like, has the
Happened more times to me as well, like a lot, lot of times this
right?
has happened.
Give
One
us a
particular one would
story.
be like we used to do a lot of this contextualization and contextualization, merchandising recommendations, and the
Right.
whole problem used to be ki what even is the attribution to these things. Like because we weren't a data company when we start, right? We
Correct.
weren't saying ki like we'll have to track each and everything. So we would never know. So one day it would be ki hey, the website's revenue is down, and the brand is like ki yaar, hello, most likely your thing is not working because we don't know the
Hmm.
exact numbers.
Right.
So we would also keep going in the loop. Ki, hey, does it even work? What we are doing, or does it not work? What is
Right.
happening? So that is one thing that has been a loop. But with the actual data, ki, hey, this is contributing this X amount or this percent of your revenue.
Right.
That essentially opens up your doors to actually even saying ki, okay, let's optimize for this new piece of like new area to optimize for, which actually contributes way more to conversion rate, or this particular thing that we built didn't contribute at all, let's remove it. So
Hmm.
we were in a loop of building, but then we sort of had to go into a loop of let's actually start and
Hmm. Start
know if it even
analyze
works or
and
not.
hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when you look at a new brand's Shopify store and and you're thinking that what can be done, what are like the first couple of things you look at if it's a if it's a new prospect brand?
I'll hunt based on like that depends on brand's category. If it's a apparel brand, I'll probably like
Hmm.
in both cases I'll probably first go to PDP. I'll 110% ignore the homepage. I don't even see the homepage for most brands because that is like the worst real estate that you could probably optimize for. And
Right.
then I'll secondary is collection page. First is depending on the brands, it's PDP, then collection page is something that I'll RCA, and then um, if it's an apparel, hey, basic like a CRO checklist of key, hey, XYZ things are even there or not.
Hmm.
That most apparel brands. So we do essentially have a system that goes, ki, hey, this is the brand, these are its competitors, what are their PDP, what like the bigger competitors in the market, what are their PDPs or their pages looking like in comparison?
Hmm.
What is something that they have and these guys don't have? Like, do they compare or not?
Hmm.
And like
Correct.
we get a list of ki, hey, these four things are something that they can optimize for. Like
Hmm.
many small brands won't even have a sticky add to cart, which is like an obvious have, right?
Correct.
As
Correct.
simple as that. So simple CRO things that most small brands should do first are something that they won't realize until very long.
Hmm. Right. Fair. And there's no one to point them out, to point these things out, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone's optimizing for their ad spend and their ROAS, unfortunately. Yeah, that's I'm sure that's that's a very common problem. If so, of course, you're building a very AI native product, right? Uh, where do you use AI in your daily life? Of course, I'm guessing it for development. It must have you must be
Yeah,
using
it
it.
has taken over. Like, I don't think anybody in our team is writing most of the code by hand. 90-95% is shipped through AI. That is
Hmm,
so that is a bit. You obviously have to sit on top of it architecturally, but that
right.
is a better place to sit in just to ship fast.
But is it? What I've also been seeing is that a lot of this AI written code is it'll introduce some bugs which are extremely hard to find. Right? Has that happened to
Yeah.
you ever?
It has happened, but it hasn't happened in a bug format. But essentially, working with AI systems, essentially creating things with AI, it comes to a point where I have optimized the prompt, I have optimized the workflow, I have fed everything I can feed to it.
Right.
Like, it's still not giving me the thing, like the quality that I want. And using like a SOTA state of the art model,
Right.
still it's not performing. Like, that is something that happens often because we also have like we like auto create creatives for ads and everything as well. So at that layer, that happens a lot in the creative generation because this is not what I was looking for. Is like a regular problem in terms of creatives at least. But it does. Matlab, I think a system is something that I sort of structurally sit on first. So many a times it doesn't happen, and we do have a system so that AI gets the right context, knows where to find stuff. So every
Hmm.
module, every feature that we build has like a file, root file that points to every subfile saying, "Okay, this is for this is for this." So it
Correct.
doesn't have to like reread everything and have a few custom skills that sort of knows that this is
No,
to be
that
done
correct.
into
Correct.
your
Correct.
like. And like, I think I personally use anti-gravity more than cloud code, but I do use both. Like,
Okay, we've not had good experience with anti gravity, but yeah.
it
Uh,
hasn't been. I think after
hmm,
optimizing it a bit, well, if you are, I like the part where you can just quickly iterate because it's very fast.
right.
Sonnet and all tends to take a lot of time.
They take
Flash
time.
is
Yes.
Gemini Flash is relatively very fast, and
Correct.
when I have like a spec, I tend to do like a bigger spec, a phased plan for if I'm making something new
Hmm,
for like a bigger project,
right.
and then sort of split it and give it to smaller modules. So
Hmm,
then I know I have to do these four things, these
right.
smaller things, so I can just have four parallel anti-gravity sessions running.
And they're doing all the work. Yeah. And do you
Yeah.
have your hiring plans changed because of AI? Like you've especially in
Like,
the
I
tech side,
have
do you think?
stopped having interns. We used to have a few interns that we used to give work to, but like
Right.
that sort of part has totally like I earlier when I used to lead a team of around 10, 12, we used to have like junior devs and senior devs as well when
Right.
I was at another company.
Hmm.
But since I've been here, like I think it has drastically removed the need, even maybe even give an intern the capability of
Hmm.
writing or shipping more things. So it goes both ways, but I haven't had much because we tend to improve products more
Right.
and ship more vertically than horizontally. We also do horizontal,
Hmm.
but more vertically. But so those tend to like interns don't really align with.
Hmm.
Like, I've
Because
had a
they'll
few.
right.
Yeah,
You need a lot of product knowledge to ship
exactly.
vertically, right? You cannot just like come up with
Yeah.
things and right. But overall, in the tech landscape, do you see like so we have three levels, right? We have our interns or like the junior levels, then we have mid levels, then we have senior levels. Where do you see the maximum impact, like positive or negative? Like where do you
Positive
see
is, I
the
think, junior and medium level. Senior is
hmm,
also decently high. I think seniors is the highest if they are using it.
right,
I used to be like a Vim freak. I have like a whole big Neo Vim setup. I
right,
still I do anti-gravity in agent mode and I code in Vim because it's
hmm.
such a big habit now. I cannot write in VS Code and other things now at all. So that is one thing. But I think junior devs, it hasn't been that much impact because they don't know the depth of it at all.
Right,
So they won't even know if the AI, what AI is doing is good or not.
correct,
Whereas at a senior level, they know what I want to do. These are technologies that I know would work for this, and I
right,
know these dogs, these functions, so I can quickly just see what it has written and hey, that's done.
hmm,
So okay, these are wrong, these are correct, and that is good to go. So I think most impacted as a senior level. If you
right,
have used a lot of things and it is using those lot of things, then it is enabling you a lot.
correct, correct, yeah,
But I think
yeah,
junior and medium level would have to, like, there are two directions. Either you go deep into saying, "Okay, I would know every library, every sort of SDK or system that I can build on, so that I can architect better and not do
hmm,
product stuff." Or I
hmm,
could go more on the route of being a tech-enabled product guy. So I think for juniors, that these are like two routes that have
hmm,
enabled.
right,
I know decent amount of tech, not extreme amount of tech,
hmm,
but I am really good at like thinking of what things to build or what to improve, and then I can ship features or ship things very fast
correct,
without really an intervention of somebody saying, "Ki, oh, I want these four features to be added." They can think, "Ki, hey,
hmm.
these are four improvements that would actually improve things a lot. So let's move the needle here."
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I think, wow, we've been talking for almost 50 minutes. It's super. I'm just checking. There is one last community question which I would want to show up. Harsh is asking, when I visit a store, sometimes it directly messages me on WhatsApp without me giving them my number. Is that legal?
It- this is a gray area. I don't know.
Hmm.
Basically, there are providers like GoQuick and a
Right.
few others in the space. What they do is they sit on your website, and if you've bought from any website,
Hmm.
they have your information. So you don't actually log into Noise
Hmm.
or log into some other Shopify website. You are technically logging into, when you're checking out, you give your number and login. That number login, you're not logging into the website, the Shopify website, you're logging into GoQuick or any other platform that there are. Like, I think there are
Right.
four or five now. Like, there are many people getting into this.
Correct.
And essentially, now that is a part of this website, so they know who you are rather than
Hmm.
saying. So it's a gray area. I don't really know because you have willingly given it to GoQuick and you have logged into GoQuick. And GoQuick is part of
Correct.
this website and part of that website as well.
Hmm.
So that's sort of a loophole, I think. I personally also don't think this should be legal, but th- this is really a gray area from
Right.
a tech standpoint as well. Ki how do you even limit this? Right? Because Google does this. Even Google does this.
Correct.
It opens an iframe,
Hmm.
like a third-party website, saves your cookies and everything to that. And essentially, that is the cookie that lives across every
Correct.
website that has GA, right? So Google also does it. So would you
Right.
say, ki, hey, Google, you are bad? So that's why it's a gray
Right.
area. But it is a very, very good question because that is one thing that annoys me a lot as well. Because I tend to, like, I
Yeah,
have to
I'm
visit a
sure.
lot of D2C website in general.
Correct. Correct. Right. And then they keep
So
messaging
like
you. Yeah.
exactly. So my whole WhatsApp is just so many different brands just messaging, retargeting messages
Hmm.
and
Correct.
everything. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes. Right. Yeah. Like I think you're right. Like it's technically you've given your information to something like a Go Quick, but yeah, like it's not
yeah,
maybe a little unethical, but yeah, like if it's not
it's a
at
gray area.
least
It should be illegal. It isn't,
it
or is
should
it?
be
It's inside a loophole. I think
correct.
that's why these companies tend to like this was a RTO hack initially. So what this why did this was across this category or across XYZ, I have now data about people. Okay, this pin code has
Hmm.
people not paying or returning more. So just
Right.
to reduce your RTO,
Correct.
people like they started saying, "Ki, okay, I'll track it across website and I'll have a lot of RTO data." The
Right.
GoQuick's quality of this is very bad because they don't do it's more like an if statement. They're not a tech company. They're a very, very
Hmm.
pro like brand ne bola hum kar denge type company, like a very growth first
Got it.
company. So they're
Very,
not
yeah.
very deep on tech, but they have a lot of pin code level data saying, hey, this pin code returns more, this pin code returns less.
Right.
And that is the core thing that they sit on, saying, hey, this particular region doesn't returns a lot, so I won't show cash on delivery at all. So it's a
Right.
prepaid order now.
Hmm.
So that is
Correct.
the place that they sit on. Now the other bit that they have extended to is essentially sending your WhatsApp. So that's
Hmm.
like an extension to it.
Right.
But it
Correct.
used to be just for RTO, which
For
they
RTO,
didn't
right.
bug users actually. But now
Right.
it is
Now it
starting to bug
is.
users as well,
Hmm.
which is where the
Correct.
gray area.
Yeah. Yeah, like it started like, yeah, like to stop RTOs, I think this is still fine until a certain point. But yeah, I think it gets
Yeah.
creepy when you get the WhatsApp, right? Like it, then that
Yeah,
is
WhatsApp
something
is a bit.
which, yeah, then you feel like, okay, I did not give my WhatsApp to this website. How do they know who I was?
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for the question, Harsh. Yeah, I think that's a very good question. Great, Siddharth. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Loved our conversation. Very informative. I hope to our there were a lot of questions in my plate which I wanted to also discuss. But yeah, we've been talking for an hour now already. And
Yeah.
for our audience, that was Siddharth Sahni. He's the co-founder and CTO of Helium. We might also have your other co-founder, Shrey, in our podcast next month, and we'll probably get down to the remaining questions more on the business side. But loved our discussions, loved how
Yeah.
how clear you guys are in what's important for Shopify stores, what you're building, how you're doing that. And of course, you guys are doing it for some amazing clients. Congratulations on that. I'll be following
Yeah.
you, and I hope our viewers will be as well. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. For everyone
Thank you.
watching, go check out gethelium.co and see what the platform actually does. They're doing some superb work. Yeah, Siddharth, appreciate you coming on ChaiNet.
Yeah.
I was
Had a lot
Rachit,
of fun.
your host.
Thank you.
Same here, same here. Thank you so much for this.